I wanted to see this. Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett. But the problem is, as I mentioned before, they set the match up. If you just said Bryan Danielson's going to wrestle Jeff Jarrett, I'd say, hey, I want to see that. I think that'll be fucking good, right? Two professionals. But Tony Khan got a hold of it. And so a few weeks ago, Jeff came in and gave Bryan Danielson a babyface pep talk. And the promo was so good, they say it was the talk of the internet. And Jeff was a firm babyface, blah, blah, blah. And he was trying to pump Danielson up to go win the match against Swerve at All In at Wembley. And then last week, after Danielson had his match, what they do last week, I've forgotten already.
Danielson last week beat, who did he beat last week? Hold on, I got my...
He beat somebody.
He beat on AEW Dynamite. It was Danielson. He did a promo, and he was confronted by Swerve.
And then he went back and he yelled at Jeff. He was mad at Jeff.
That's what it was.
Point is, he's mad at Jeff last week for trying to give him a pep talk. So he said, well, let's see if you can tell how ready I am next week. So now instead of having a match where Jeff is trying to motivate and bring out the best in Bryan Danielson and maybe waltz him across Texas a little bit before he has the big match at Wembley Stadium, they have an anything goes match so that Jeff can do the same thing. And because they're apparently in North Carolina is the only reason given, Ricky Steamboat is going to be there to see it. And do
Texas
color
Deathmatch legend, Ricky Steamboat. Yeah, whatever. Whatever the rules were. No DQ legend.
Anything goes, no disqualification match legend. Ricky Steamboat will be there because he lives in the state. And so the fucking whole thing is you've already established Jeff as a babyface and they could have had a match, but instead they got to have the garbage wrestling, the anything goes, and they got to fuck it all up. And they got to make it stupid and meaningless and silly. So from the time that Danielson comes out of the entrance, Jeff comes from behind and whacks him with the guitar, and the guitar didn't break. But then Jeff threw it down and broke it in a million pieces. And Jeff is going to prepare Bryan Danielson for Wembley Stadium in a world title match by ending his career. By crippling him. Within the first minute, they go into the arena and up in the stands. I really wanted to see, as I said, them wrestle each other, not Jeff get this guy ready for another match by trying to hospitalize him. They go out in the breezeway and they fight with garbage cans. And they're surrounded by fans, smart fans out there that are just laughing. They're not caring which guy gets beat up. They just want to see these guys take stupid bumps. And they stay up there forever. And then they go to picture in picture and they fight back down the stairs. And when they come back from the break, they're in the ring, but then they go out on the floor. And then when they get back in the ring, Jeff is trying to Pillmanize Danielson's leg. He's got a chair around his fucking ankle, and he's going to go to the top and jump off and break his fucking leg to try to get him ready for the world title match in 2 weeks. And then finally, Danielson hits the running knee with a chair in front of it and knocks Jeff out 1, 2, 3, and apparently really did because he busted Jeff's chin open with the fucking chair. For what? I couldn't wait for this to be over. Jeff gets his chin busted open with a chair for no reason in a garbage match that made no sense. And it was the most flimsiest reason ever given for existing. And then Yuta gets in to check on fucking Danielson, and Steamboat gets in, and Karen and Lethal get in to check on Jeff. And they stand up and shake hands and hug each other. And then they all leave, and Swerve comes out, and now he's a heel. And he cuts a promo on Danielson said, I'm going to end your career. And next week, you just had a warm-up match. Well, I'm going to have a warm-up match, and I'm going to beat up your boy Wheeler Yuta there. Are we allowed to cheer for none of the above in a match? Can we just say we don't like any of these people? They're all heels. They have no redeeming features. They turn on all of their friends. We just want to boo everyone.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you're going to do here. At Steamboat on commentary at one point, I forget what it was, maybe the figure 4 or something, he said, yeah, that shoot hurts.
Yeah, that hurts for a shoot.
If that hurts for a shoot, what does everything else in the wrestling match feel like?
It only hurts for a work.
I don't know what this was. I don't know why. I thought they were just going to wrestle, and then all of a sudden it was the stipulation and the Steamboat. And Swerve, again, the more Swerve is on the mic, the less I want to see him. He had a lot more mystique when he didn't talk so much.
You talk too much and you never shut up. You talk too much. Whoa, you talk too much.
Are they going to put the belt on Danielson?
I wouldn't be surprised because Tony is insane. Tony Khan is such a basement mark, and I say that in the worst possible meaning. He is the epitome of the stereotype characteristic that a lot of people put on wrestling fans, that they're fucking complete socially awkward misfits that futz around in their goddamn mother's basement eating Pop-Tarts and fucking playing on the computer and fantasy booking. And that's the kind of person that would put the belt on Danielson. He's fucking quitting. He is not going to wrestle full time. He has announced that before. You were already stupid enough to put your World Tag Team title on Sting so he could retire with that, and it's never recovered, as we were just mentioning a little while ago. And now you're going to bury further Swerve that was over and has now been booked into by beating him with a guy that's going to wrestle a few times a year or whatever from then on, and possibly not even exclusively for you. But because of what Bryan Danielson means to wrestling and to all the fans, it would be a heartwarming moment if he were to win that title. Yeah, it'd be a heartwarming moment for a mark with too much money and not enough sense.
Well, that was AEW Dynamite. The road to Wembley is paved with Daddy's dollars. But we shall return shortly.
He's a rich kid, and he's gone too far, but you know it don't matter anyway. 'Cause he can rely on old Shad's money. He can rely on old Dad's money.
We're playing two different songs.
It's a bitch, boy. And you know you can't book anyway.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our apologies on many levels. We shall return after time travel with the AEW Dynamite ratings.